Welcome back, Cyclops fans. I know that I left you on a bit of a cliffhanger, wondering whether or not the wonderful vessel Cyclops would make it to the River Fowey. Well, we'll find out as this episode goes on.
Okay, my goal is to catch this boat, and Mollyhawk's sailing 11 meters, so roughly the same size as I am. But I've given her like a 3 nautical mile head start.
Look at this guy, fishing in his little dinghy. You know, it doesn't show up on radar one bit. There's the radar, he doesn't show up at all.
Mollyhawk update. She's now 2.5 nautical miles ahead. Another episode of how fast we're going. True wind, 72. So I've cracked off a bunch. True wind speed, 7.8. Boat speed, 6.9 through the water. That damn current getting me for half a knot. Mollyhawk. I wonder what that is. Maybe a type of bird. I don't know. She is now 2 nautical miles away.
Last season, I laboriously typed in the polars. Polars are the speed the boat should go in flat water for a various wind speed and wind angle. So I tracked that to see how I'm doing. Here, the computer is telling me I should be doing 6.3 knots, yet I'm doing 6.5 knots speed over ground. Really should be looking at speed through the water. My polars are a bit off since they are borrowed from the 38-foot version of the JPK. This line is the clew tie-down line that holds the clew of the mainsail to the boom, and it is far too thin and small, so I'm going to upgrade that at my next stop. This attractive screen shows you the tide. However, take care as it's based on the paddle wheel speed of the boat. The math and the graphics are the easy part. The hard part is calibrating your paddle wheel so that it is actually accurate.
Expected to meet in under an hour. Oh, this is getting good. These boats appear due to AIS, and the orange dot on them, that's my radar picking them up. And I'm still trying to see if my radar needs a little bit of adjustment. They always do, because they're never installed perfectly straight. Now the true wind direction's 200. I've seen as much as 210. The weather prediction had it go to 270, which would be an absolute hosation.
Within easy reach of the helm are the autopilot computer controllers. Currently it is in Perf 2, which means it will respond a little bit more than Perf 1 to changes in waves and wind.
0.67 of a mile.
Throughout the day, the breeze picked up, and we were consistently doing almost 2 knots faster. And here you go, you can see Mollyhawk just out there on the horizon. We're going to catch her. I've eased the sheets as I've borne off to join Rumline. In the lower right-hand corner is B&G's Smart Steer feature. It's innovative, however, I prefer the old analog wind indicator. The beautiful Cornish coastline is passing quickly now. It's official, we've passed Mollyhawk. They are now in the distant horizon. I wasn't really serious about racing them, but it did help pass the time on a nice passage. Frequently go a little farther offshore in search of wind. As I return to the near shore, it is very fun to look at the land. Time to put the Genoa away. First step, put the reefing line on the winch. Reefing the Genoa on port tack is easier than reefing the Genoa on starboard tack. The reason is the windward winch is left open and can be used for the reefing line. If I had been on starboard tack, I would have been forced to use the open winch on the companionway. In my rush attitude, I have not gone downwind enough, and you can see the Genoa is flogging. The white line on the sail is the vertical batten. I've had no problem with it rolling up when reefing. Get that Bristol look with the sheets wrapped around the Genoa. It's important to hold both sheets in your hand while you do the final few turns. So in review, it does not take me very long to put the Genoa away. As you can see, about 5 seconds. The seas have built a bit, so it's a bit bumpy as I motor into the wind to get ready to drop the main. Watching a beautiful drop like that puts a smile on my face. When large aircraft descend to an airport, half an hour before landing, they start preparing the plane. Same thing with me on bringing the boat into a marina. With all my futzing, Mollyhawk has now caught up in the background. I usually tie 7 fenders to the boat and save 1 as a roamer. Lines, I have 1 from midship, 1 from stern, and 1 from the bow on both sides of the boat. Then I make sure I elephant ear them. Watch this boat right in front of me. He does a 90-degree turn to go head to wind. The reason is to stow his jib, I think. but it's much better to stow your jib going downwind. He also got a little close to Cyclops, however, I saw it happening, so no threat. Installing my favorite flat fenders for the stern takes a little bit of trickery. Now it's time to install the all-important throttle shaft. Boy, this one really helps when in close conditions. A bunch of boats were coming into Fowey today because they're trying to avoid tomorrow's bad weather. I was in a small drag race with the boat to starboard, but I knew I was headed somewhere else. Landfalls in a new town are always exciting. Yes, I prepare by looking at Google Earth and the charts, but there's something special about seeing the town with your own eyes for the first time. While I'm talking about my eyes, gotta keep those eyes open to make sure a ship with a digger doesn't hit me. If you look on the right side of the screen, you'll see a small motorboat. This motorboat was really driving me nuts and hanging out in my blind spot while I was trying to put on lines. I elephant ear the dock line so that when I approach the dock, someone can pull it off the boat easily. Also, I'm careful that the line won't fall down and get caught in the prop or the thruster. When I leave the helm, the boat's on autopilot, but I'm keeping my head on a swivel to make sure I'm not going awry. A quick trip down below to raise the keel. Got my chart plotter set up with the forward depth sonar and the chart on both sides. See, the motorboat's still following me just to my starboard quarter. There goes one of those ferries again. Remember, they have precedence, so you have to be very careful when near them. So on the left side of the screen is the China clay factory. And I figured out China clay is for, guess what? Making China. However, it seems that the Canadians have taken over the market from the British. Gail's just texted me the details of my slip. So now I know I'll be coming bow first, port side, and I'm moving an additional fender to the port side. Gail is currently awaiting for my arrival in Fowey and filming me as I sneak up the last bit of the river. Gail's standing beside the slip I will be staying on, so I've just signaled her that I acknowledge the location. Going slowly enough, I can now descend the thruster, which requires 2 pushes of the button and 20 seconds of patience while the thruster descends. The GoPro wide-angle lens always makes spaces look bigger. The amount of space between Cyclops and that large rock was much less than I would have liked, and now upcoming is a very large powerboat I need to avoid. As I approach a slip, in my mind I'm already docking, so I'm trying to learn the effects of the wind and current. That was important today. I'm bobbing my head to indicate no, I will not come in bow first as planned. Reason I've aborted is because the boat is moving quite quickly even though the engine is not in gear. That's a good sign that you want to change direction of approach.
I have to come in stern first. The wind's blowing me this way.
What line first? Stern?
Stern, yeah. I was gonna try coming bow first, but it's too strong a breeze. Oh, she's got it. Thank you so much.
While docking, I thought it was the wind that was pushing me so hard, but locals later corrected me, it is the current. Notice how long it takes Cyclops to change directions, going from forward to reverse. You'll just see the Gemma boat doesn't move at all, yet the engine is distinctly in reverse. The way I deal with those transitions is to find a wide open space and be patient. It will all work out. You can see it on my face, a bit of frustration, tension, as I'm waiting for the darn boat to start going reverse. And then I go to reach to the other side of the boat. I have no clue what I was thinking then. But you can see it's now moving quite briskly in reverse, and I'm having to navigate hard with the legs to keep the boat on track.
Out there?
Yes.
That would have been disaster. I got that direction.
Once that first line's done, the boat's attached, and one can begin relaxing.
Do you want to be farther back?
Up to you.
Hey, you were amazing. Thank you. That was really good.
No, I don't think you could get any closer than back in there.
You know how much I had to motor for?
Not a lot.
The only motoring.
It was pretty freezing.
Would you like to come aboard your yacht?
You know, I was going to go and see if that guy's in the office now.
And check in and do all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.